Hi, I'm Jonathan Oxer and this is Walk Time Blog number 9. Water and electricity don't mix. And just look around, look how perfect this day is. It's fantastic. Nice sky, few clouds, sun, a little bit of a breeze, everything looks perfectly clean. You'd never guess that 12 hours ago was the storm. So last night, all the rain started falling and it was bucketing down. We were watching the rain from the new conservatory, which is really cool. Glass walls, glass ceiling. And that was all fine until we discovered that our new garage and workshop, which is actually where we're sleeping at the moment because most of the house we can't use, was flooded. Walked out and this is what I saw. Now, that in itself is more than a little bit annoying. And part of the reason that's annoying is that when we got flooded earlier in the year, we rescued a whole bunch of clothes and things and packed them away in boxes, and those boxes were all safely stored along the garage wall, right about here. And, so that seems to have been a failure in terms of protecting that stuff. But now let's go back to this little bit of a clip where I was looking around inside the garage, and you'll hear a beep. Okay, so I was looking around, and just after I did that little bit of filming, I was thinking, what is that beeping noise? I sort of looked around a bit, realised it was coming from the electrical cupboard, and went, oh crap, I'm standing in water about a metre away from a powered up UPS, which is sitting on the floor. Fantastic. So things got a little bit busy after that. But it's an important lesson to learn. Don't leave things, electrical things, on the floor, no matter how well protected you think they are. In this particular case, it was about 8 metres from the external wall where all the water was coming in, and yet the UPS and a number of plug packs were sitting in water. And amazingly, the UPS just kept right on trucking. And so it was energised and supplying power to a couple of computers sitting in that electrical closet. But the circuit breaker that was supplying it had tripped, because also down in there was a power board and a couple of plug packs, and the power board was underwater. One of the power supplies that was sitting on the floor, the little switch mode power supply, was running the home automation controller, and it fried. So in that video, as you can see, the lights are all on. Well, one set of lights is on in the garage. What I hadn't yet realised at the time I took that video was that the home automation controller was fried, so I couldn't actually control the lights anymore. Now, the way my system is set up, I've got Arduinos mounted around the place. So inside one of the switchboards, there's an Arduino which is driving DIN rail mounted relays, and so it's connected to Ethernet, and the various devices around the house talk to each other using HTTP connections. And so the actual controller, like the output controller inside the switchboard, was still happily controlling the relays that turn lights on and off, but it wasn't getting any signals because the central controller, which is it's a little EU box low power machine, was sitting down in the bottom of that cupboard and was fried. So we then had a very busy couple of hours, firstly trying to get all the water out, and then I had to resurrect a control box so I could control the lights again. And then we had to move all of the boxes and things out and try to dry stuff out. It's basically just been a big pain in the ass. So I know what we've had to do is trivial compared to what the flood victims went through in Queensland and New South Wales early in the year. Well, last year now, I think it was. Yeah, it was last year, late last year. But it gave me just a tiny taste for the pain they went through. So if you lived through those floods, I feel sorry for you. See ya.